and a big welcome to you all as we are live here at Bridgewood Community Studio located at the iconic Jack London Square in Oakland, California.
Now is the time you've all been waiting for. Welcome to Bridgegood's Showcase and Fundraiser Uplift.
Today, you are joining our talented designers and ecosystem of do-gooders as together we uplift the next generation of diverse creative talent.
For the next hour and a half, stay tuned in with back-to-back live and original content from the Bridgegood squad.
Now's your chance to hire Bridgegood graduates. Each designer will have 3 minutes to showcase their unique talents and case studies.
Learn about the power of a design for social good and inclusive design.
And celebrate the impact of Bridgegood.
In 2021, Bridgegood changed the game and leveled up, all in the name of designing for social good.
We tripled our headquarters and doubled our impact, launching Bridgegood Community Studio 6 months ahead of schedule, thanks to Craig Newmark Philanthropies.
And expanded our UX design apprenticeship thanks to Adobe, and piloted the Career Incubator with the lead support of Salesforce.
As you hear the stories, impact, and inspiration from Bridgegood's graduates today, please consider making your donation in one of 3 ways.
Donate with credit card at bridgegood.org/donate with Venmo @Bridgegood and Cash App $Bridgegood.
On behalf of Bridgegood students, graduates, volunteers, staff, board members, and donors, thank you for supporting, and remember to always uplift.
Supporters!
Go Team Bridgegood!
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy!
I've always believed, honestly, that creativity can change the world. So Bridgegood cultivates young talent and really catapults them to the next level, bridging students to great opportunities. It's Bridgegood. So for me, I don't have a 10-year plan, I have a 10-month plan. And every year, my goal is to outdo the previous, but with positivity and with impact. So for me, it's the 10-month plan. And it's not about numbers, it's about the quality of those voices. The future is now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Bridgegood's Uplift event. We are so pleased you're here, and I look forward to sharing a bit of myself with you today. My name is Arlena Lobre, and I'm a student at CSU East Bay studying graphic design and psychology, pursuing a career in UX design. I've always had an interest in art and understanding interactions amongst people, which is why I'm passionate about this field. I want to use my interdisciplinary background and deep interest in understanding others to create meaningful experiences and products. For the case study, I wanted to highlight a project that focuses on a problem that I commonly heard from friends and family. They mentioned that finding clothes is quite difficult, and this is something that many others struggle with, which affects confidence, textile waste, and encourages fast fashion. In addition, clothing sizes have been very tricky, especially for women to understand, since many brands use different measurements. From this, I wanted to answer the question, how might we facilitate the shopping experience so that users can find clothes that will fit? For this case study, I had a few goals: educate the user and understand why certain approaches were used, provide solutions that are familiar and thus easily adopted, and ultimately make the buying process easier. In this project, I worked as a solo designer to create a mobile app that teaches you how to accurately find your measurements, which then uses those figures to generate a personalized marketplace. In my process, there are a few key moments I wanted to highlight. Starting off, I wanted to understand what the shopping experience was currently like. I conducted a few interviews to gain insight on how they currently shop, whether they buy online or in person, and motivations from buying from certain brands. Creating the journey map was another key moment because it shows what the beginning of the experience would be like and also gave me other considerations to think about. For example, I noticed that the journey was very linear and that maybe some users were not willing to measure themselves at the beginning. So I created 2 other options. One where you fill out a questionnaire and one where you already know your sizes. The final product was broken up into 3 sections: guided measurement, questionnaire, I already know my size. All three options are accessed through the screen on the left, and starting at the top is guided measurements, which takes you through a tutorial on how to measure yourself with measuring tape. I found that this was the most consistent method of measuring. The questionnaire option was adapted from other clothing sites that ask questions based on clothing you already own and fit you well. From this, it generates an estimated size for you based on its database. My Size takes you straight to the marketplace where you'll be taken in a walkthrough on where to input your size if you already know it, so the marketplace can generate clothing pieces that match those measurements. So did I accomplish my goals? I would say I accomplished the first goal, but the only way to really know is to test it on users. And due to the nature of this project, I was not able to do so, and this is something I would do differently for next time. Thanks for listening, and feel free to reach out at my email and LinkedIn.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. A little about me. I like cars, music, DJing, and video games. I get really excited about sleek car designs and cool light shows at concerts. Growing up as a disabled person, I had a very unique upbringing. Through my involvement with disability activism, I have grown to understand the importance of accessibility in design and feel I can offer a unique perspective. I am currently a student at Diablo Valley College in the process of getting my associate's degree in interaction design. During the summer of 2021, I was lucky enough to be a part of the Bridgegood UX Design Apprenticeship. Once I finish college, I hope to work in UX as a UI designer. During the apprenticeship, I was put into a group with 3 other designers in design sprints. Today, I'm going to show you the redesign of the Request a Design Service feature. Currently, there is no dedicated page on the Bridgegood site for students to apply to design jobs requested by its partners. Currently, stakeholders have to manually reach out to students for these opportunities, and there was no screening process. Students do not find the project, so stakeholders have to find it for them. We started by laying out what we would do for each day of the 3-day sprint. We did user research first, followed by research synthesis, and finally, we developed the final product. Our next step was identifying the user groups. Through interviews with the stakeholders, we identified 3: students, companies, and stakeholders. We then crafted questions for each group based on the interviews with stakeholders about their pain points. I was in charge of converting the notes for the student interviews into stickies on Miro. One of the delights I came up with from the student user group is that students are more likely to engage with projects that deal with something they are more familiar with. Next, we interviewed the 3 groups. We conducted interviews with students and 2 interviews for the companies and stakeholders. After converting the notes from the interviews to stickies on Miro, we grouped together similar ideas, and that was how we decided the importance of each pain point. With all the information we gathered from interviews and research synthesis, we were able to come up with the final solution. The solution we came up with has a dashboard for students and stakeholders. The student dashboard allows students to apply for and upload deliverables for the projects they're working on. The stakeholder dashboard allows them to talk directly with students to provide feedback, as well as requesting revisions for the projects. Thanks for listening, and you can reach out to me through email, phone, or LinkedIn.
Hello, my name is Tim Levine. I'm a product designer who is passionate about improving community relations. My interest in activism was sparked by current topics such as Asian hate crimes and climate change. After design, I was able to find an outlet for promoting awareness and encouraging others to have an open conversation about it. This inspired me to pursue a career in product design, where I began as a youth apprentice, and this has led me to freelance for startup companies where I can hone my real-world industry experience. Outside of work, I am a Twitch streamer. I am now seeking for full-time and contract opportunities in product design. Bridgegood is a nonprofit that gives tools and design opportunities to students between 18 to 34 who are interested in pursuing a career in design. We chose to redesign the portfolio page because a portfolio is one of the most crucial steps in getting a design job. Yet, it can be frightening creating your first portfolio. My keywords include user research and UI design. My main focus was to conduct user interviews on existing users to get key insight on the previous design and come up with solutions to help students display their best work. Here are some of the design process of the redesign. The previous design inhibits students from showcasing their best work. We met with 4 different creatives to discover what they like and dislike about the existing site. One of the user quote is, "I'm about to graduate, but I don't have a portfolio to show to an employer." The user's feedback, they said they want to tell a story and express themselves through their projects. My team and I took that insight and devised a solution by altering the layout of the page and include a feature project that highlights the students' best work. With the project view, students are allowed to share their work process more effectively and gain feedback from other users. As a result, students were able to display their work on the Bridgegood platform. Their work becomes more visible, boosting their chances of getting hired by potential employers. The redesign has helped over 7,000 students from 51 schools across the Bay Area, increasing 16% in usage. Thank you for listening and attending the Uplift event. You can reach me at tinhnguyen01@gmail.com. Check out the full case study at tinnguyen.com.
Hi, my name is Jian. I'm so excited to be sharing my cosmetic ingredient checking app. Before jumping into my project, let me share about myself. I'm originally from South Korea and I spent the early part of my career working in an international trading company. And it allows me to see the world with a broader perspective and open my eyes to explore other people and cultures. So I want to utilize my past career experience and my passion of design to create a beautiful and useful product as a product designer. Now that you know me a little better, I want to dive into the background of my project. I read an article about the Toxic Beauty and mentioned that our cosmetics and personal care products contain the chemical ingredients and it can read the allergies and cancers. So I conducted user research asking customers how they choose the cosmetic products. Not surprisingly, the majority of customers stated that the price and reviews were the 2 biggest factors in their decisions. However, many stated they still did not know whether or not the cosmetic products worked for their skin. This often led to frustration since they only realized the cosmetic product didn't work for their skin until they purchased it. That brings me my cosmetic ingredient checking app. I designed this application to provide the customer with the necessary information regarding the cosmetic product ingredients so they can make an informed decision on their purchase. Furthermore, I understood based on my usual research that the price and reviews were still important factor in their decisions. So I made sure the reviews and price were clearly presented next to each and every cosmetic product to help users reasonable consumption. Thanks for listening. Here's my contact information, and I'm open to product designer internship and full-time. So if you are interested in me, please feel free to contact me via email or LinkedIn. Thank you.
It is important to support Bridgegood because the tech field is very cookie cutter. There's not a lot of disabled or people who identify differently in that space. Hi, my name's Alex, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. Growing up was pretty average for me, I would say. In preschool, I kind of noticed I was different because they tried to get me to ride a bike. I couldn't ride a bike. But yeah, I would just want people to know that I'm just like everyone else. I just happen to get around differently.
Hi, my name is Judy, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I was born and raised in Chinatown, San Francisco, and we lived as a low-income family in SRO unit, stands for single room occupancy. So I would usually go out to the library or some other public space where I'm able to sit down and actually do my work. I learned to be pretty resilient, always have the mindset to bring myself back up, put myself back out there.
Hi, I'm Fardosa. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. So I was born and raised in the Bay. My parents are both born in Somalia, but they met in America. There's a lot of music, a lot of dancing. Food is very big in the culture. Yeah, there's a lot of art in general too. Creative people come from Somalia.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. Bridgegood can be summed up just by the word opportunity. People who feel that they don't have enough experience and have this sort of sense of imposter syndrome, that they aren't good enough. Bridgegood really just cares about you, the designer, and helping you on your path.
My name is Guan, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I'm from China. My family decided to move to America for the kid to have like a better life, better opportunity. I moved here when I was 8. I didn't speak English and I have like no one to talk to. Hide myself from everyone. I realized I need to express myself.
Hello, my name is Cynthia. I am a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I always saw my grandma as like my own little superhero. I say little because she's very short, very teeny tiny. It's something I'm really proud of, that our family grew from going to working in the field every day to having a business of her own. Her story always inspired me to figure out what my place in the world is and like what I can do to make it on my own.
Hi, I'm Lonnie. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I grew up actually with just my mom. She immigrated from Vietnam doing Vietnam War.
Hi, my name is Christopher, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I was born in San Francisco, raised there, and moved to Daly City, and then all over California. During those years, being around so many diverse people really gave me a perspective on the world. Also got reflected back later on when I was in the Navy. Just meeting all these people that don't look like me, that don't talk like me, and just seeing the humanity in all of them.
My name is Jian. I'm proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I grew up with single mom and 4 siblings at the bottom part of the South Korea. At Bridgegood, there are teachers and mentors. They all teach me a lot of things: presenting, communication skills, time management.
Hi, my name's Hansel. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. So I was raised in Guatemala. Guatemala is just full of like hardworking people, like with really good work ethic, doing their best to survive. People get creative with the lack of resources that there is. So I've always been passionate about design. Putting that dream on the side because I really didn't know how to approach my design career.
Hi, my name is Arlen. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I'm a first-generation Filipino American. Grew up in San Leandro my whole life. I'm always so happy to tell people about how I found out about Bridgegood. It was a high school classmate. He was like, hey, join our presentation. So I did, and I just fell in love. Like at that point, I just started stalking Bridgegood like crazy.
Hi, my name is Elena, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX design apprentice. I was born and raised in Ukraine. I moved here when I was 23. I spoke very little English. I've been always fascinated with women who were like self-starters and made it and were still able to be mothers. I aspire to be one of them.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I am a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. I was the second child of 2 immigrants, so I was surrounded by really hard-working parents, and that really shaped me as a child.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. It's very mixed. My mom's side is Mongolian, my dad's side's Laotian. The thing about Bridgegood that attracted me was that they have all these opportunities. I'm like, okay, this will help me a lot.
Hi, my name's Alessandra, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. I grew up in a Central American household. We placed a lot of value on family. They were surprisingly always very supportive of my creative endeavors. Design is important because it feels like a universal language.
Hi, my name's Elisa, and I'm a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. Learning new things was my biggest motivation, especially at my age. I am not trying to climb the corporate ladder. Gaining new knowledge is something that always inspires me and motivates me.
Hi, my name is Julie. I am a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. I'm a Bay Area native, born and raised, ethnically Vietnamese, and I come from a family of immigrants, and that's given me a great outlook on diversity and what it means to also be inclusive of other cultures.
Hello, my name is Roderick. I'm a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. I am from London. I came here with my dad. At the time, it was very surreal. I did not know why I was moving, besides that my mother passed away from cancer. My mom is always with me and guiding me when I was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. Some people have the lower end, that would be more of switching letters. Some people have it like me, that is in the higher end. I told myself I'm not going to let my disability hinder or change who I am. I'm trying to actually break the mold.
My name is Adam. I am a proud Bridgegood UX Design apprentice. I grew up in South Korea. I was the only child, and I had a single mom who worked really hard to raise me. And I wanted a change, so I moved to US. Life happened. I got married and I had a kid, but I always had this passion for design, so I decided to study design like in my 30s. I was taking class, and then Sean and Yudi came. It was kind of magical, and then here I am.
Yes, 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 all the way live from Bridgegood Community Studio. You got Yudi. Say hi, Yudi. You got Sean. We got the squad here. Say hi, everyone in the room. Hello? Yes. We have all of our mentors and allies here. We first want to say thank you all for attending and viewing and supporting our students. We have some donations. Jasmine Mora with $50. Ali Cottrell with $50. Brendan Truscott with $50. Lok Nguyen with $50. Allison Coe, a graduate of Bridgegood with $50. And we also want to say thank you, ICE Mortgage Technology, who donated $750 to support our students. And now we're going to pass it on to Michael Shee, US Bank, and also Bridgegood board member.
Thanks, Sean. Happy to be here this afternoon. Just a couple thoughts on what we've seen so far today, but it's been pretty inspiring. I know we don't call this Inspiration Awards, but watching some of those videos is inspiring. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is just how transformative Bridgegood has been. And, you know, for those that remember back, we used to be Oakland Digital, and just listening to the videos today, I really think we hit that tone as far as what Bridgegood was trying to accomplish, because so many of the apprentices, so many of the beneficiaries of our work aren't just in Oakland. We are in Oakland, and we love Oakland, but it's the impact and the scope and the range of what we do is I'm just darn say international now. Like we're out there, we're helping everybody, and that's pretty powerful stuff, is what I would say for thus far. And I know we've got a lot more to see and a lot more to show what we've done. But I'm blown away. So awesome start to the event this afternoon, and just want to say thanks for having me here. And I heard we're doing some donations, so maybe if this can spark a couple of other people to donate, but I'm down to donate. I know I'll get US Bank to match it as well, which is what a lot of employers are doing out there too. But Bridgegood, I've got you for $1,000. So let me, let's keep it going.
Michael, $1,000. Thank you. That's $2,000 from you, Michael. Thank you. And the other Michael from Just Global, do you have maybe 20 seconds of thoughts about what you saw?
Yeah, I would say, very similar. It's very inspiring. What I keep coming to is like this idea of opportunity. And, we heard some like really unique stories, but what's not unique is the idea that they just don't have the tools and the access to opportunities. And we see this all the time with college students and people who are trying to merge into tech and other types of businesses. Is just there's no access, and they don't know how to get in. And so Bridgegood offers that. Bridgegood is a place where people can learn and gain those skills, and it's a value. It's a huge value. Sean, I think you're on mute.
We'll see y'all in a bit. Thank you so much. Keep donating. We appreciate you. Much love over here from Bridgegood Community Studio. Stay tuned. Keep watching.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Freeman. I'm a UI designer and Bridgegood Career Incubator graduate. A quote that's really resonated with me has been Neil Armstrong's "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." As a student at Cal State East Bay, I always compared myself and my work to my classmates, became easily discouraged, and started doubting my abilities. But when Bridgegood came to my school to talk about how they connect students to job opportunities in design and tech and provide them with a free online portfolio, I decided to sign up and apply for a paid project using the animation I created beforehand. Not only was I hired for the project, but I was also invited to one of their site visits at Twitter HQ and offered a spot in their summer apprenticeship program. Since then, I've embraced my path as a designer for social good, whether it's been with my fellow apprentices, volunteering alongside the Golden State Warriors and Adobe, or working with other nonprofits and educators as a freelancer. One project that I'm proud to have worked on was an empty state feature for the Bridgegood.com website. This was a 2-day design sprint where I took on the visual designer role. The problem we faced was that while users were signing up, they weren't uploading any projects to their portfolios. At the time, new profiles were largely blank, with only a small button telling users to upload. So my partner and I were tasked with designing an empty state, which is a small graphic that would fill some of the empty space and remind the user to upload artwork. While thinking about why someone might not upload artwork, I thought back on how my own struggles with confidence made me reluctant to publicly share my work. Due to the short time frame and the fact that it would be hard to get feedback from possibly inactive users, we went with the assumption that some users were hesitant to upload out of fear of negative criticism. Remembering Armstrong's quote, I suggested a space thing where the user is taking their first small step into the world of design by uploading their artwork. I also wanted to include a message that empathized with the user, saying that while it can be hard being vulnerable with your work, it gets easier the more you do it. While we had to shorten the message a bit to include a call to action telling them to upload, the overall message kept its encouraging nature. In terms of success metrics, the number of projects uploaded has nearly quadrupled in the 4 years since the empty state was first implemented, with over 16,000 pieces of artwork uploaded. But numbers aside, what really makes this project so special to me is that I was able to use my experience with self-doubt to hopefully connect with users who felt the same way I did and inspire them to take their first step on the creative journey. It was also the first project I worked on that was implemented onto a live site. As a recent college grad, being able to say I worked on a live site feature was an incredibly rewarding feeling. If you'd like to connect with me, feel free to add me on LinkedIn, or you can email me at jfanimated@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Hi
Hi everyone, I'm Renee and I'm a third-year student at UC Davis studying design and psychology. What excites me the most is my community because I believe that people around me shapes me to be who I am today, which motivates me to make an impact on people's lives. So I'm currently looking for a UX research intern position. I'm passionate about studying people's behaviors and thoughts, and with my studies in design and psychology, I'm confident that I am able to deep dive into user needs and creatively problem solve to ensure a better experience. My strengths lies within data analysis and synthesizing findings. So to ensure public health, I, alongside 3 other students, created a COVID-19 screening portal to help UC Davis students and staffs through the process of completing the COVID symptom requirements needed. For this project, I was sprint lead for mid-fidelity and usability testing during the 6-week design sprint, and mainly focused on designing the COVID symptom survey webflow. To give background context, the COVID symptom survey is a simple form that ensures that students and staff do not have COVID symptoms before entering UC Davis facilities. So for user research, to understand the problem of our users, we sent out a Google survey in which we received 58 participants. We've discovered that 78 of those participants forgot to fill out the daily symptom survey, and that 75% do not read the questions on the daily symptom survey. And with our free response, we discovered that there were no reminders on the survey, which led to people forgetting to fill out the daily symptom survey, and that the process of filling out the form involved too many apps. So how might we condense the entire COVID testing and screening process to make the experience hassle-free for UC Davis students? On the right-hand side is a recording of me going through the current daily symptom survey process. Currently, this is a 40-second process involving 11 steps and directs users to 3 different apps. Although 40 seconds does not seem too much time, users forget to fill out the form until they arrive to campus. These 40 seconds can disrupt the flow of class when entering busy buildings. During the user testing process, we guided users with the task of navigating and filling out the symptom survey form through our mid-fidelity wireframes. We learned that users were confused because the same icons were used for different purposes and that there were unnecessary repeated information. So for our final iterations, we differentiated the back and close button by using different icons as well as removing the progress bar. Here is our final mock-up of the process. We minimize forgetfulness by displaying a direct link to the survey on the homepage so that it is the first thing you see when you open the app. And to save time and avoiding scrolling, questions are distributed on separate pages. And we also condense this entire process into using one app. This minimizes the previous 11-step process into 6. Thank you guys so much for listening, and for any questions, feel free to contact me through email and LinkedIn. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy as we fight through this pandemic together. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Punsavan, and welcome to my Uplift presentation. I am a Mongolian, Chinese, and Laotian designer who is passionate about art, music, and culture, and excited about serving the Bay Area through my designs. Growing up as a musician, I understand the importance of being able to express yourself through creativity, which is why I'm pursuing a career in design today. A graduate of the Communication and Sociology programs at the University of California, Santa Barbara, I am currently strengthening my skills in digital imaging at Berkeley City College. I'm also a design team member for the American Youth Literacy Foundation, a nonprofit whose mission is to deliver a smartphone app to help children learn how to read. My career goal is to find a full-time job in user experience design. I look forward to using my skills in communication, graphic design, user experience, and user interface design to optimize interactions between people and products. The case study I'm going to present is my team's landing page for Bridgegood's UX apprenticeship program. Information about the program is found through a PDF document on Bridgegood's website rather than on a designated landing page as it is for most other UX bootcamps. As a result, information can be hard to find, resulting in less opportunities for underrepresented and marginalized job seekers. Through conducting interviews, my team and I found that information about the apprenticeship program is not clearly showcased, even though it's a main attraction of Bridgegood. Our problem statement is that underrepresented college students, recent graduates, and career switchers need a better way to access information about Bridgegood programs in order to find financially accessible and inclusive opportunities. Our solution is to streamline the information about the program in a way that accurately reflects the tone and values of Bridgegood, as well as improve their program branding. We want to create a clear landing page where users can learn more about the apprenticeship program. My contributions to this project included interviewing current apprentices and company stakeholders to help us understand how people discovered the apprenticeship. I also researched other UX bootcamps to understand how they marketed their programs. In addition, I created 2 user personas, a current student and a recent college graduate, to represent the target demographic for the apprenticeship. Then I put together the storyboard and defined the user journey to understand how people found the apprenticeship. Developing this program page would result in more talented and historically marginalized students applying for the Bridgegood UX apprenticeship, as well as more users trusting the apprenticeship as a legitimate resource for learning user design. The best way to reach me is through my email or through my LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to connect with you all soon.
Hi everyone, thank you all so much for coming to Bridgegood's Uplift presentation today. My name is Megan Tre, and I'm a UX designer based in Oakland, California. And if there's one thing in the world I love more than anything, it's food. Ever since I was a young girl, my mom has always said that I've been hungry, especially for noodles. Now, whenever I hang out with friends, it's usually just an excuse to spend more money on food and satisfy my cravings. And by extension, I also love to travel. One of the first things on my bucket list is to visit every continent at least once. Trying the foods and witnessing the cultures of different places all around the world is incredible, but sometimes travel is not for pleasure, but rather for work. During my time at Design Interactive, a UX design club at UC Davis, I worked with a team of 2 other UX designers to help create an app that helps young adults and professionals who have moved to their new community thrive. Our app's users, such as Michelle Gomez here, have just graduated from a university and have landed a job in a city they've either never been to or are very unfamiliar with. As excited as users like Michelle are about this opportunity, they are anxious and stressed about moving to a brand new city all by themselves. Consequently, Michelle wishes that she had a small, close-knit community of people with similar interests and backgrounds in her new city to help her transition be as smooth as possible. As a result, my team came up with a problem statement: how might we help young adults and professionals who have moved adapt to their new communities and thrive? This is where my team's mobile app, New in Town, comes in. This app acts as a directory of all the different social events and locations each city has to offer. It also helps people like Michelle become more familiar and comfortable with the new area they are moving to. My role in making this app was conducting user research and prototyping. And through my user interviews, I was able to talk to people just like Michelle who are anxious about their next steps post-graduation and deeply empathize with their situations. This empathy allowed me to create prototypes to address their needs and pain points. So when users like Michelle land on the app, they will be asked to provide some personal information about themselves and reveal the new town they have moved to. This will allow the app to categorize the user as either an explorer, someone who is a newcomer to town, or a local, someone who's very familiar with the town. Locals can assist newcomers by providing them with recommendations. This sense of community provides Michelle with a close-knit group she desires. The fact that locals can communicate with explorers creates a mentor-mentee relationship, allowing the explorer to feel included and heard in their new town. Thank you all so much for listening to my presentation. If you would like to reach out to me, feel free to email me or contact me on LinkedIn.
Bridgegood, in one word, help.
Bridgegood is a nonprofit organization that helps
students of color, creatives, and designers. Those that are disabled and those coming from non-traditional backgrounds.
We have moms with kids, we have people who just graduated or people who are still in school.
Gain real-world industry knowledge.
The opportunity to really get your foot through the door
in tech and design.
Bridgegood is also a community. If there's any questions or any help that you need, they will be there to support you.
Link them and propel them and give them that hand that they need in order to make this leap.
To me, Bridgegood is a group of people where you can feel safe to come forward and share your own experiences and to learn.
Inclusive.
It seems like there's like a place for everyone. The fact that Bridgegood prioritized women of color and disadvantaged groups.
Everyone wants you to succeed, and you really feel that in everyone's energy.
A community of people that I can rely on now.
It's actually really refreshing.
When I think of Bridgegood, I think of design for social good.
But also designing for accessibility.
How the world is built today is not built for disabled people.
It's always kind of been put on the back burner, like, hey, you should focus on the edge cases and try to design for everyone because it benefits everyone. Really shed a light on how many people we're keeping out.
Whether that be, physical structures or online structures that really don't cater to the needs of all different types of bodies and all different types of people. We need to make inclusive and accessible design for everyone.
Creating something that everyone can understand or anyone can be a part of.
As designers, we can make a difference using design to uplift. That's amazing that through design that we can make a difference.
The Inspire Oakland Design Challenge is a challenge hosted by the nonprofit Bridgegood, and it spans across the Bay Area, but especially towards Oakland residents and natives, and it asks the question, how does Oakland inspire you? Designers and students come up with different ideas and personal reflections on how Oakland inspires them.
Using that to promote Oakland, also the spirit of Oakland.
There is no place on the earth like Oakland.
Inspire Oakland was my first real-world experience. I thought it was a great opportunity for me to challenge myself, develop my skills.
I wanted to take on the challenge and to inspire like a younger version of me. I wanted to portray a world that made more sense to me. The main characters are two kids having fun at the park in Lake Merritt, and everyone around them looks different, and everyone's just happy and it's carefree. Inspire play, because I feel like what's more important is that we just take the time to enjoy life.
My design for Inspire Oakland was Stop Asian Hate with Daniel Wu and Daniel Day Kim, because they were the celebrity that stepped up, spread the awareness of Stop Asian Hate. So I thought it would be important to include that in my design. We have to make some change, or else it could happen to one of your family member too.
So my concept was Oakland Rebels AAU basketball team. Our family has a history of supporting nonprofit organizations, and both my kids play basketball, so I thought I would just kind of tie all that together.
The whole process was actually pretty new to me, because as a graphic designer, I didn't really have much chance to work with other people. Getting feedback, especially on open labs, and I actually learned how to receive feedback and reflect it. That was an amazing experience.
We were given several different specs, like the LED display, the social media flyer, the bus benches, the versatility of it. It's just not one size fits all. I can't just create one piece and assume it will go on every single type of display.
Through Bridgegood, it really opened my eyes towards this endless possibilities of different avenues that you can take art and design into.
I think Bridgegood solves several problems for students in terms of providing them with resources, providing them with a space to, execute their creativity, and providing that sense of community. You're not alone in the world of design.
I think one thing that people tend to overlook is age, and ageism is real. What I see different at Bridgegood about ageism is age is just a number. You look at the person's ability, their work ethics,
level of maturity, in level of confidence, in level of responsibility that we're willing to take, and pride in our work.
How they are able to adapt into a group and collaborate with the rest of the team. There are no other organizations out there like Bridgegood. You really look deeper at a person's quality rather than the statistics. That really helped boost my confidence.
It's important that people support Bridgegood because the face of the workforce right now is stuck in one place, and we need to break down those walls that are there, especially all the women coming out of this. They're gonna make a difference because they're passionate and are ready to do that, to make that difference in the world.
I will miss the community. I will miss the director, Sean, always willing to push us to get to that particular place where he can see the success in all of us. He understands that people have struggles, but he's always going to be around to see how you're doing.
Bridgegood is like a family to me.
Sometimes we knew what each other is thinking without saying a word. So I feel like the connection is very powerful there. One thing that I will miss about Bridgegood is how much they gave me. I feel like everyone grew so much in a short period of time, including myself.
Just being able to talk with Sean and Yudi all day, and just from their mentorship and all of their knowledge from however many years they've been doing this, I think was really special.
I will remember it forever.
Yes, yes, yes. If you are not inspired, we are all inspired. We are thankful and grateful for all of your donations. Travis Henson, an Inspire Oakland student from year 2, $50 donation. Haley Miller, a graduate of Bridgegood, $100. Christopher Cruz, we can all give a round of applause as I'm saying this. Christopher Cruz, who you saw in the video, $50. Adenei Sonoki, $50. Omar Sanada, another graduate, $50. Lisa Tolles, $50. Gavin Pham from Salesforce, $50. Michael Shee, we got your $1,000. Thank you for that. Leroy Morishita, the Cal State East Bay former president, $750. And that's where we're going to cut off for now, but keep those donations coming. With that, Lisa, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Thank you, Sean. I'm Lisa Tolles, a Bridgegood board member, and all I want to say is, wow. I've just been sitting here watching amazing people with inspiring stories, creating beautiful change in the world. I love it. My applause to all of you. I especially love Arlen's beautiful, clear UI that was earlier in the presentation, and Alex's great way of organizing a lot of research, and Megan's onboarding app, genius. I was excited to participate this year in the Career Incubator about interview best practices and also about resume strategies. And I really love the beautiful ideas that these talented students are launching out into the world in a dynamic, powerful way that they've articulated their vision, and they're articulating their stories with us today in these presentations. So by providing real world strategies about how to promote themselves to potential employers, by drawing on my career in corporate, I think by drawing on that is a great way to lay a solid foundation for exciting, sustainable careers that they are creating starting right now. Some of them have already started that. So needless to say, I am super excited to continue supporting our apprentice designers and to do everything I can to help them launch these new careers as designers. I've just made a donation, and I encourage anyone else here today to reflect on what's meaningful to you right now, on what types of organizations are holding our community together, and to join me in supporting Bridgegood's vision with a contribution.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, thank you. Brody, we'd love for you to be able to speak a few words about Beyond and Bridgegood.
Sure. Tough act to follow. Lisa, thank you for everything you just said. I have to second that. It's just been impressive to see all of the apprentices and students come through the Bridgegood Academy. I moved here from Boston about 1.5 years ago in the middle of the pandemic and joined in with some of the apprentice programs. And we've actually brought people from the Bridgegood apprentices over into Beyond. So Coca earlier this year was a strategy intern. And then starting in January, we're going to bring a graduate from the apprenticeship program. His name's Duran Gopi, into Beyond. And we're excited to have him involved. And we're going to work with him on, I think, a new client that we just brought on board recently. And excited to get his perspective. And I just love hearing all the different stories from everybody that comes through your program, Sean. So thank you and Yudi for everything you guys do in Oakland and the Bay Area.
Wonderful. We're going to get back to that content. Keep the donations coming. We need your support. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting us at Bridgegood today. My name is Judy, and I'm a multidisciplinary UX designer with a background in cognitive science and psychology. I grew up with a first-generation low-income background. As a daughter to Chinese immigrants, it didn't take long for me to realize that I'm different. My parents are different, my culture is different. To me, it's important to speak up for those that can't be heard so I can be an ally to my community and create inclusive spaces. Because of this, I'm passionate about inclusive design and to do work that has a positive impact on people's lives. My background has shaped me as a UX designer to be thoughtful, inclusive, and intentional. I'm on the search for a full-time role, and I'm ready to make an impact at your company. Now, moving on to my project, and for context, part of Bridgegood's mission is to help up-and-coming designers secure a job in tech. I know it's hard to get your foot in the door to land your first role. So I worked with a team to introduce the internships and entry-level job database at Bridgegood. My roles were the visionary, qualitative researcher, and design strategist. And our first challenge is to figure out the scope of the project. First, we need to talk to our design students. I took the lead for user interviews and wanted to know, how did you approach the job process? After talking to 5 students, the problem was clear. Even though everyone wanted their first internship or entry-level role, over 80% lacked the confidence to apply. I had the options to filter by qualifications they were used to seeing, but this discouraged them from applying in the first place, so I took it out. There was a trade-off, to reduce familiarity in order to boost students' confidence. Next, we need to understand the business. Bridgegood, as a nonprofit corporation, needs funding to be sustainable. I helped guide conversations to find a middle ground. By creating a jobs database, we would not only meet the needs of our students, but also there would be a business impact. We could help our primary stakeholder, Bridgegood, generate revenue by charging $50 for a job post or a $500 referral fee. Finally, we need to consider the recruiters. To gain their trust, I did 3 things. Show credibility above the fold with Bridgegood statistics and our trusted partners. Display the rigor of the UX apprenticeship to show that we are providing top talent. And also show all the fees upfront to be transparent. To wrap it up, in this feature, we are starting to revolutionize how recruiters and diverse students approach the job process. It's important for me to create impact, for students to feel confident, and for recruiters to hire designers based on their work. Thank you. You can reach me at my email, lee98judy@gmail.com, or my portfolio, judylee.me.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. My name is Hansel, and I'm a designer who's passionate about building better experiences for people. I grew up in Guatemala in a small town surrounded by people and cultural events that constantly fed my creative side. After moving back to California, I spent a few years working in the construction industry before deciding to continue my career in design. What I love about design is the opportunity to create or improve something through teamwork, the attention to detail, and execution. I'm ready to work, and I'm looking for full-time opportunities in UX design where I can contribute my skills and in turn learn and grow as a designer. During the summer, I had the opportunity to be part of Bridgegood's UX Design Apprenticeship. They're a nonprofit dedicated to helping students like myself through tuition-free training to prepare in careers for tech and design. With another 2 designers, we set out to improve the donations feature for the bridgegood.com site. And I wanted to work on this feature because I know that as a nonprofit, Bridgegood relies on the financial support from the public to continue providing students with these opportunities. So let's dig right in. Our problem statement was this: how might we increase donations and simplify the process to save the user some time? So using the design sprint methodology, we started to look for the solution. After talking to stakeholders, I created a document with a series of questions that we could use during our 10 user interviews to reveal specific findings about donations. I also did research on comparable solutions that we used during the shadowing portion of our interviews to gain insights from users through observation and listening. This step was extremely helpful in revealing the direction of the project. While stakeholders expressed their desire to increase donations, we found that users were confused about the unclear call to action and felt that the transaction wasn't trustworthy. This pointed to issues about content strategy, and as part of the solution, I set out to create a series of infographics for our final design, with the intention of inspiring and educating potential donors about the impact of their donations. Thanks for listening, and I'd be glad to talk more about my work and discuss available opportunities in UX design with you. Feel free to reach me through my email or LinkedIn. Have a great day.
Hi everyone, my name is Elham and I'm a Persian-born designer, currently live in California. My international background informs my designs, which tends to be a melange between the sensitivity of the Eastern world and the customer visual-oriented demand of the Western world. My passion is working with ambiguity, problem solving, and connecting the dots to create a user-friendly product. My interest in psychology coupled with my background in teaching gave me a better understanding of people's needs. I studied graphic design at San Jose State University and I finished my apprenticeship at Bridgegood. I am looking for opportunities in the UX design field. During my apprenticeship, I worked on a project called Project Feed. Bridgegood is an award-winning nonprofit organization, provides equitable tech access, design opportunities, and professional resources to job seekers. My main role was to conduct a UX research and create high-fidelity mock-up for the project. We noticed that users do not stay engaged after they sign in to their account on Bridgegood. So the main problem here was how might we increase users' engagement on Bridgegood's website. I interviewed 5 users through Zoom to understand their pain points and their needs. And here are the 3 key points after the research. The users struggle communicating with other creators through the platform. The users would like to have more flexibility when uploading their work on the website. And the last one, the users desired an easier navigation in the project page. After the research, I started to write assumptions and ideas to find out how to encourage users to get more involved with the platform. The solution for the problem was to redesign the project feed page. In the newly designed page, the users were directed to the project feed right after they signed into their account. In the older version, the users were taken to their own dashboard, where they had troubles and difficulty to find their recently uploaded projects. In the new design, the users were able to see their friends' recent activity, VIP events, and their following or followers' recent projects all on the same page. This feature allows them to easily see the projects that interest them the most and communicate with each other. The pop-up window gave the users the opportunity to provide feedback right away while they were still on the project feed page and they didn't have to go to the creator's account. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. You can connect with me through my LinkedIn or you can shoot me an email. Bye.
Hello, friends and future employers. My name is Roderick Lawrence. I am a proud dyslexic designer that has a passion for UX research, focusing on accessibilities. My difficulty finding accessibility tools has helped me understand why design is such an important concept and profession. Sociocultural evolution, how people interact in this world, fascinates me. I love having meaningful discussions with people on this particular topic and how it relates to user experience. As a UX researcher that identifies as disabled, my goal is to use design to help people with similar challenges, to deliver supportive tools and technology to able-bodied people. I was fortunate to explore the accessibility design with Bridgegood, is the epitome of design for social good. I worked alongside two talented designers building a new accessibility feature using the design sprint methodology. Our team conducted user interviews and testing with 9 users. One user stated out to me, quote, "I know what inclusive design is, but I don't know what accessible design, but I don't know the difference of inclusive design," unquote. My main contribution was conducting recordings and researching different types of disabilities. I helped generate insights and aha moments. Once the findings were completed, our team designed an accessibility feature with 3 core modules: mobile, visual, hearing. These particular modules show student designers what it's like to be in the shoes of a disabled person. This enables them to empathize with people who have disabilities. While completing the module, students gain knowledge designing for the disabled community and thus improving the lives of our audience, who are student creatives. For potential employers, I am seeking a position in accessible design or user research. With that, thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Coca. Thank you for joining us and supporting Bridgegood. I'm a UX designer with a rather unique career background. Although it took me a while to find this path, I think my mixed background gives me a unique perspective and skill set as a designer. I got a degree in biology at UC Berkeley. There I realized I love to understand the world and why things are the way they are. After graduating, I got into teaching and program management at the Oakland Zoo. There I realized I love helping others and solving problems, but it wasn't where I wanted to be long-term. I finally got the courage to leave and explore my creative side that I had always ignored. I started doing freelance work and continuing education in graphic design. There, I fully got to use my creativity, and one of my professors introduced me to Bridgegood. I joined the Bridgegood apprenticeship, where I learned UX design from great mentors from tech companies like Salesforce. I also did an internship with a design agency called Beyond, where I work with clients like Google. I finally found something that combined my love of understanding, empathy, and creativity with my love of problem solving. I'm now looking to work in UX design where I can contribute my unique perspective, user-focused design skills, problem solving, and management skills in a mission-driven organization that will help people. I recently worked with a company called Honeybox. I joined them as a product designer this summer to help reinvent their checkout flow. Honeybox launched in 2020 with a mission to connect loved ones across distances through thoughtful gifts. I'm sure all of you have felt some level of disconnect throughout this pandemic. I sure have too. They solved this issue with a build-your-own gift box with a unique feature of adding a personal photo and a note. However, their checkout flow was difficult to navigate, especially since this is not a widely known method of gift buying. User interviews and shadowing revealed that the photo feature in particular was a pain point as it failed heuristic evaluations and even forced users off platform to edit their photo. For the solution, I aligned on the vision with the product owner, synced about platform capabilities with the engineers, and let user input guide my decisions. I delivered a final prototype of the feature on web and mobile, which included one major win of an in-platform, easy-to-use photo selection and customization feature. This has since launched and been successful in reducing cart abandonment and increasing conversion by 300%, which enables more people to send gifts to those they love and hopefully makes people feel more connected. I am excited to continue working on impactful and meaningful UX in the future. Thank you for listening and feel free to contact me at kokayamamoto@gmail.com. You can also check out my portfolio at kokayamamoto.com. And of course, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much to Bridgegood for putting on this amazing program and for all the many supporters that have really invested a lot of time and energy into us to become successful in this field.
How would you explain Bridgegood to the ordinary person? What is Bridgegood?
We work on websites and we work with graphics, and he's like, oh, okay, so computers, okay, yeah, on my phone, yeah, by that, exactly.
UX stands for user experience, and it puts the user at the center of your designs, and for the designer to consider all of their problems and all of their pain points before making design decisions.
UX combines the two things I love, which is like art and practicality and problem solving.
Research is kind of like the foundation of design.
Understanding the user, that can be done through interviews, sending out surveys.
If you're gonna write a movie, you need a script.
I didn't realize how crucial research is to the whole UX design process. At its core, that's what UX design is, the research.
The Bridgegood UX Design Apprenticeship is
one big great opportunity that is not like any other boot camp, any other courses online.
You don't just go home and forget about what you're working on. It like lives on through you throughout the day.
Bridgegood UX Design Apprenticeship Program is a 3-month program where
you get to learn everything about UX, take that knowledge and implement it into something real.
Perfect. This is perfect. This is just like start lining up for me.
Well, this must be like destiny. Like I need to apply.
The apprenticeship is very intense.
It was a little intimidating because there was the MOU contract, and I was like, oh God, like this is real.
They're gonna push you because that's what the best coaches, teachers, mentors do.
I was really nervous every week.
On the first day, we literally started working right away.
In the beginning, it was more of a learning process and taking in all the different knowledge. The latter half of the apprenticeship was more applying those skills and utilizing them for design sprints and group work and group projects and assignments.
On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we learned through Zoom sessions, but then on Thursdays, we got to come into the studio.
Stepping into the Bridgegood Community Studio at Jack London Square, beautiful location, was breathtaking.
The moment you step in, it's like really warm.
Wow, like this is just beautiful interior design.
Positive energy coming in.
Feeling the energy in the studio, you cannot really feel it in screen. So it really motivated me having people to interact. I think that's like very magical.
You could tell it's like a creative space.
Especially with the Bridgegood colors being yellow and blue. That really made it stand out.
Being able to talk face to face with people who are trying to navigate their way towards their UX design career, for me that was something that I couldn't get anywhere else.
Everyone's so ready to work and so inspired and motivated because it's not just a job. We're here to learn from each other, from the mentors. We're motivated.
Having access to tech professionals was very, very vital.
Especially if you're a junior designer, you have no experience, you're not really sure what it's like in the workforce, and you're not sure what to expect.
Terminology that people use in the tech space. Now I feel so much more ready to talk to people professionally. I feel like I've just improved in all of those areas.
To myself, I thought, no way, this is real. Like, we're talking to people who are currently director, senior level designers, and they're putting forth effort and time to be with us. Not only me, but it gave us all hope that it's okay to be confused. It's okay if your journey's not linear.
Companies coming in, helping you and mentoring you about UX design and the process of design thinking and the business side of design and the creative side.
When mentors were validating the students' ideas, when they said that they're also learning from us, was really encouraging and made me feel like I can pursue this as a career.
Those people, you know, giving their time to help people that were once in the same position as them, you know, they were super passionate about just helping us.
Resources, mentorship,
real-world industry knowledge, that make me 10 times more confident.
I was blown away by the amount of mentorship from these big companies.
Salesforce, Slack, and Twitter.
Content design strategy with Cisco, user research with Lacework, Adobe Creative Suite, Illustrator, Photoshop, and XD. Directly from Adobe mentors, that was amazing.
It's really great to have a well-known company like Adobe invest in Bridgegud.
One that stood out a lot to me was US Bank, and we chatted about the fundamentals of sketching and sketching wireframes, you know, whether it's like physical with a pen and paper, the difference between a lo-fi and a hi-fi wireframe, or something, you know, like on Miro board where you can use their wireframe gallery. And we got a lot of insight from some really great professional designers.
My favorite company to be mentored by was Beyond. The feedback that they gave was very direct and straight to the point. There was no sugarcoating, which is something like I really appreciated.
Beyond, I think it was interesting to talk to an agency. I just didn't know that that was something that you can do. How they did certain projects, 2-year-long project with one company, and then the next one it would be like 1 month.
Probably my favorite and the most engaging one was Lacework.
They commuted all the way from San Jose and really took the opportunity to actually teach us in person.
We got to do the stickies and work on the affinity mapping.
Shared insights, we created research plan, and it was all in the physical environment. This was great, I really enjoyed that.
Without their guidance, I'm not sure that we would have produced as high quality of work that we did.
Well, it's thanks to Bridgegud that we were able to get all that.
Bridgegud UX Design Apprenticeship is actually a program like no others.
Yeah, this cohort had a lot of really strong, very independent women that I look up to.
To me, I think the apprenticeship has been more than I could have imagined.
Keeping the program running free is crucial. The cost of education and cost of living, it just becomes impossible. We don't have organization like Bridgegud.
That support that I don't think I've ever had.
The knowledge I gained, it's definitely changed my life.
I'm leaving here. It's not really leaving here. I have
a team, a family behind them, you know.
Every apprentice was family to me.
We were working as a unit. The cohort is like a second family.
Bridgegud being the community that it is, it's truly a family.
We're all little shining stars because everyone here is.
The way to see things done, the way to get things to happen is by relying on your fellow neighbors and your community. You can't do everything alone.
I think what I'll miss most about Bridgegud, the experience of being a beginner and being so new to something and like being able to ask as many questions as I can. That journey is probably going to be, I think it'll be different once I get a career.
I'm very grateful that Bridgegood was there since 2017, because learning is an endless journey.
It's just an endless support and encouragement. I think I'll miss working with all the team member again. Yeah.
It was such a great experience working with everybody and working for Bridgegood and designing products, and I was feeling like pretty sentimental. Like I really appreciated this team and like everybody here, so it felt weird knowing that we won't work together as a team in the future.
What I remember most from this experience is how accepting everyone was, and I didn't feel like less or that I wasn't good enough.
For me, this experience, it will definitely sit in my heart forever. The encouragement and the confidence that I built, confidence not only in myself, but also in my skills and who I am as a designer, that's something that I'll carry with me every day from this day forward.
How amazing that is. A great explanation of why UX design is not a 9-to-5 job, but more so a 24/7 job. Amazing. I'll pass it on to Heidi to give her reflections about her work and her contribution to Bridgegood this year.
Hi, yes, thank you for allowing me to say a few words. So I am a digital experience strategist at Salesforce, and as a representative of the digital strategy and design team, we've been working throughout the last 10 to 12 weeks with Bridgegood on the Career Accelerator program. We've been thrilled to be the founding sponsor and to have the opportunity to work with your students to really help them navigate the job search process. So now that your program participants are all trained up on UX, the job search itself is a big challenge that we've really spent a lot of time trying to help them tackle. And I have to say how impressed I am by the presentations and the work that everyone has done that's showing up in the presentations today, to say that I have no doubt that your folks are all going to have really great, successful job searches in the coming months, and I'm sure they're going to be landing on their feet very soon. They all seem confident and knowledgeable and have had really great experiences so far. So good luck, and thanks for letting us help you out and be a part of the program.
Great, thanks so much, Heidi. And I also wanted to say thanks to Salesforce. From the employee level all the way through sponsorship, thank you. There are tons of people that donated. Beatrice Vallada, $50. Please clap. Brody Rich, $50. Penny Peak, $100. Mama Tai, AKA Jane Tai, my mom, $2,000. Aisha Nelson, Fifi, $100. Coca, thank you, $150. Elisa Fang, $100. She was in the video. Sandra Hargis, $50. Alex Maddox, shout out to Alex, $25. Benjamin Raymondville, $50. Marcus Shire from Beyond, $100. Lisa Folsino, $100. Karen Dia, $500. And I do also want to send an extra thank you to Chris, aka Normtronics, who is running the AV in this whole event. Thank you, Normtronics. We appreciate you deeply. And with that, let's get back to the programming. We appreciate you. Let's stay inspired. Let's keep pushing. Thank you.
My name is Cynthia Leon, and I'm passionate about designing for social impact and accessibility with an empathetic eye. So I have a background in graphic design and business, and I'm hoping to pursue a role as a full-time UX designer. And something that I'm really excited about is accessible design. So my personal connection to this is that I have two autistic brothers that have really helped shape the way I view the world. And they've had such a huge impact on what accessible design means to me and what I hope to achieve as a designer. So Bridgegood has also been a part of my journey as a UX designer, and their mission is to create opportunities for underserved communities of student creatives. And as a UX apprentice for Bridgegood, I was able to work on several design sprints for Bridgegood, meaning the work I was doing contributed to furthering that mission. So the case study that I wanted to highlight was Bridgegood's Community Studio registration page. So this is a brand new feature for Bridgegood that allows Bridgegood creatives to register to come into and utilize the new Community Studio. So currently there is no formal way to register to come into the space other than having to directly email Shawnee Moody. So this is an issue for our users and our stakeholders. So my team and I did some user research through interviews, creating personas, storyboarding, utilizing these user insights that we found for the user research. We ended up finding some user pain points, and with these, we were able to create some design values for our project that really helped us meet those needs and wants of our users. So here's one of the wireframes that I created during our project that helps dissect how we decided to implement a couple of those design values. One of the main pain points that we found with our users was that they didn't understand what the Community Studio was. So this is an issue, and we wanted to make sure to better clarify what the Community Studio was. At the very forefront of our page was some kind of description of the space. And we also wanted to make sure that we added images so people could better understand what the space was at the very top of the page. Something else that we wanted to implement was convenience with starting the process of registering. So we wanted to make it really easy for people to start the process. So we added multiple access points to start the registering process. Something that we also found with our users was that they were unsure of the value that the Community Studio brought them. And so this created an opportunity for my team and I to be able to carve out some of those things that could be offered and create some more purpose for the Community Studio. We also wanted to make sure that we made a list and we showcased what could be possibly offered to make sure that people could see the value of coming into the Community Studio. So this is the final design direction for the homepage. The contributions that I made to this project were that I created the homepage. I also contributed on prototyping, storyboarding, and I did content creation with the banners and images and copy. So thank you so much for your time. And if you have any further questions or want to get in touch, you can email me or you can find me on LinkedIn. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Arim Yang. I'm an empathetic visual designer with a focus on user interface design. I have 6 years of strong visual design experience, and now I'm looking for full-time visual designer position. I moved from South Korea about 13 years ago, and now I'm a mom of 2 beautiful children. As an immigrant and ESL, design has been always my companion to overcome my barriers with language, culture, and relationship. And this motivates me to work for and work with people so that they can overcome their barriers through design. This last summer, I got a chance to work on accessibility feature for a non-profit design agency, Bridgegood. I actually never worked with anyone who has a disability before, but during this design sprint, I got a chance to work with a team member who has a dyslexia. And the real experience and insight he shared with us taught me a lot. Before this project, I thought with assistive technologies like screen readers or eye tracking device, it shouldn't be too hard for disabled users to use weapon mobile devices. But I was totally wrong. It was a lot more challenging than I expected, and it needed an extra effort to use it. And through the research, our team found out that many of the Bridgegood users didn't have enough education or empathy towards disabled users. Also, there was confusion about the definition of accessibility and lack of motivation to know more about accessibility. So our team came up with this feature that can provide a short version of an assistive technology experience for vision, hearing, and mobility disability. Through this, users can be more understanding and empathetic so that they can grow into designers who can help others overcome their barriers. Also, Bridgegood can expect increased fundraising goal and utilize their grants dedicated to accessible design by 10% year over year, and educate 200 students year over year with knowledge of accessible design. My job on this task were creating most of the visual elements and hi-fi wire framing. Also, I contributed on one-on-one user interviews and research, ideating as well. Thank you for listening my presentation, and here are ways to contact me. I'm looking forward to share more about myself and the work I've done so far. And please continue supporting Bridgegood so that designers like me can grow and design for social good. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ben. I am a Haitian American, South Florida native, and I'm glad to be here with you today. I have gone through a non-traditional career path from video production to client relations, which has led me into design. In video production, I spent time working on sets for commercials as a cameraman and behind the scenes as an editor. I gained an understanding of the pipeline process and how to work in a team. In client relations, strong rapport with clients and problem solving are key. As a dispatch manager and eventually as a hub manager, I worked with the crew to clearly figure out the factors that are bottlenecking the production process. This makes my job and their jobs easier in the long run. I'm currently completing my final year at Cal State East Bay with a major in video and design. Now, as a UX designer, I'm taking my appreciation of past positions to inform my current projects. Under the Bridgegood apprenticeship, I gained the appreciation for how research guides the designers to find solutions. We were tasked with bringing more awareness to the nonprofit side of Bridgegood. Some users who've used the platform were not aware of the ways to volunteer or to donate. So our job was to narrow down what features we wanted to highlight on the platform. As a team lead, I worked with 2 designers on developing a targeted problem statement. Through interviews and shadowing users of the Bridgegood website, we determined the best ways for users to get involved, not just financially, but also their time and their space. We did a competitive analysis and a heuristic evaluation of different nonprofits to determine what methods they were using to get users involved and what weren't working. We used storyboards and user flows to visualize the journey the users would take to engage with the donations features. After mockups and lo-fi prototypes, we eventually constructed 4 aspects to feature: volunteers, donations, classroom visits, and partnerships. Each section focuses on different users, from students looking to help out in their community to teachers opening up their rooms for Bridgegood students, and also those who are just looking to donate to creatives or to Bridgegood as a whole. After some user testing and reevaluation, we finalized our prototype. This apprenticeship has taught me how to lead a team, evaluating all ideas and how to come to a consensus to meet our deadlines. I appreciate your time and I look forward to speaking to you in the future. Thank you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Uplift presentation. My name is Julie and I'm really excited for you all to get to know me a little bit better today. A little bit more about me is that I'm a Vietnamese American woman and a Bay Area native. I recently graduated from UC Riverside studying public policy, where I spent a lot of my time conducting qualitative ethnographic research. That experience, coupled with this summer's Bridgegood's UX Design Apprenticeship, has really given me the knowledge and the fundamental skills to pursue a career in UX design. Additionally, one of my greatest passions is learning about other people's cultures and learning about their unique experiences. I believe it's this passion of mine that has really led me to love and pursue a career in UX design, where empathy is key to immersing ourselves in the world of the user. The case study that I want to share with you all today is Bridgegood's programs. This past summer, I had the opportunity to lead a team of 2 others in reimagining Bridgegood's programs, and this includes the UX Design Apprenticeship and the Inspire Oakland competition. During this process, we had our guiding question: how might we make the information on Bridgegood's programs more accessible for our users? And following this, we wanted to conduct some user research and also some stakeholder interviews to gather insights, motivations, pain points, delights, and opportunities from our users as well as our stakeholders. And the main problem that we defined was that our users were unable to access or find the information on these programs. So the solution that we created to address this problem was to restructure the information architecture of the homepage, as well as add a programs tab into the navigation bar, with goals to prioritize the program as well as create easier access to this information. So I created these wireframes during the ideation phase to really help visualize our solutions. On the top of both, you can see that we added a programs tab to the navigation bar. On the bottom, you can see 2 different trade-offs. On the left, you have the secondary navigation bar in a vertical format, and on the right, you have the secondary navigation bar in a horizontal format. Additionally, one of the main feedback that we got in our user interviews was that our users were accessing Bridgegood website more through mobile than through web. So we wanted to optimize for mobile. So here we have the landing page for the UX Design Apprenticeship. On the left, you can see that in the drop-down menu under programs, we have listed Inspire Oakland as well as the UX Design Apprenticeship for easier access to these programs through the navigation bar. Considering the time constraints of the design sprint, we would really like to conduct more in-depth user testing in our next steps. The impact of our solution can be measured qualitatively. Because users have easier access to these programs, this will increase the visibility for Bridgegood and also increase the amount of applicants for these programs. And more visibility to Bridgegood means, on a larger scale, funneling more diverse talent into the tech industry. And that's what we want. Thank you all for your support and for listening today. You can connect with me through my email and my LinkedIn.
Awesome. Congratulations to all the students who participated this year in the Inspire Oakland, the UX Design Apprenticeship, and the Career Incubator. Listening to all your journeys is just giving me more energies to go out next year and outreach to schools and hopefully new students that will be impacted through the work the Bridgegood is doing. I'm going to pass it on to Alexandria to give her reflections.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Alexandria. I'm a campus recruiter at Klaviyo. And I just want to say, wow, what an incredible community of resilient and passionate individuals. I'm extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to just learn more about the impact of Bridgegood and what you guys have all done. Here at Klaviyo, this is our first year partnering with Bridgegood, and very excited for this partnership. And again, just really just left feeling inspired. And all of you should be very proud of the creative and thoughtful projects that you put together. So thank you. I'm excited to meet many of you through our interview process.
Thanks so much, Alexandria. And once again, thank you to Chris, aka Normtronics, for putting this AV together. I have a few announcements before we close. Katie Gasparoni, $50. Thank you for donating. Corinne Hargis with $50. Thank you. We also had a very special former student of ours, Travis Henson, who just donated $500 on top of his previous, stating how inspired he was. We met him 10 years ago at Laney College. He since then has gone on to work at YouTube and is currently working at Logitech. And he's an example of the impact of Bridgegood in the long run. So thank you, Travis. I also have two other announcements. Jonathan, who was enrolled in our career incubator, he's employed now before he graduated. And then Coca is also employed before she graduated. So congrats to both of them. And I just want to say thank you to all of the companies that believed in us this year and even prior in the beginning stages, starting with Adobe sponsoring the scholarships for the UX design apprenticeship, and then Salesforce coming in and giving a substantial donation to pilot their career incubator. And there was been so many other volunteers from the biggest companies in the world that believe in our small little nonprofit Bridgegood. And then most importantly, I want to say thank you to the students. Round of applause for the students, please, who have dedicated their hearts, their work ethic, everything about in their soul to advance their career and help their families. This is all about the students. This is who we do it for. Thank you all. And with that, let's uplift, let's Bridgegood. Peace and love. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you.